Hello everybody, it is Nikki Chanel here and welcome back to my YouTube channel. It has been almost 4 months since I've graced your screens and it's been a wild 4 months, but I want to first start off with why I stopped making YouTube videos. So the reason I stopped making YouTube videos, I had basically hit burnout with my channel. My channel, I seemed to be hitting like a very peak level of where it was going. You know, it was making me money, it was making me monetized, but my issue was the content I was making wasn't really what I wanted to start my YouTube channel for. I wanted to start my YouTube channel for makeup topics, fashion, hair, all the fun stuff. And I was talking about really hardcore transgender topics that I've gone through plenty of times, but being transgender is like old hat by this point. And it's also very chaotic right now, especially with the orange guy in the office. And so hitting burnout was just kind of inevitable, and I just stopped wanting to talk about transgender topics. I was going through other channels and a lot of people seemed to kind of be burning out at the same thing. You know, it started becoming villainized to be transgender on YouTube and everything like that. And it was this isn't really what I want to do anymore. This is not what I focused on. My goal is just to be a chick, not just a transgender YouTuber. And then you had all these different combative transgender people blaming each other, and it was just not really a good environment. And so I am back now. However, I'm going to shift focus into other videos. However, I'm going to give you all an update of what has been going on in the last 4 months. Okay, so the last 4 months have been pretty wild. There's been a lot of really cool stuff happening. There were some sad moments here and there, but the main thing that happened was, in a weird roundabout way, I got involved in the Boise drag scene, drag queens, drag kings scene. And it was kind of a weird thing. So in my YouTube video talking about Boise Pride, I mentioned that I live here and this one person found me through Facebook. They'd followed me forever and we got hooked up, and then they had friends in the Boise drag scene and they met me. And so long story short, I've been to, I think 12 drag shows in the last 3 months, which has been a pretty wild experience to finally go out to clubs and things like that. I never really was a clubber that much. I never really did much partying and things like that. Now it's I stay up till 1 a.m. whenever I go to drag shows and, you know, go out to dinners at 11:30 at night and things like that. So I'm basically having a social life. And when you're having a social life, going to the gym every day, going to work every single day, maintaining a family life too, and you're constantly doing stuff with friends, it's very hard to focus on social media and your side gigs. And so I just kind of took a break from my YouTube channel as for the reasons that I mentioned beforehand. There was also one other thing that happened was I finally went on my first ever date. Yes, I finally went on my first ever date with a guy that I met through Tinder. One of my friends used Tinder to find her boyfriend, and so I was like, you know what, why not? So I went on Tinder, just kind of made my profile, met him within a week. We went out to dinner, had an amazing coffee date, and then we went to dinner right after. It was a 6-hour date. Went to another date, made out with him at this Christmas lights display, and then he came over and we did the deed. So yay, I finally did it. And that was a lot of fun. And then maintaining that social life with a boyfriend and everything like that, that was a lot to do as well. So it was just, there was so much going on in those last 4 months, as well as holidays, as well as snow, as well as the craziness of winter, because I despise winter. Seasonal depression was so hardcore that I just kind of needed a break from everything. And that's why I was gone for the last 4 months, but we are back now. Okay, so now I want to more elaborate on what's going on next week. So I'm pretty sure a lot of you have seen my community post, and I'm gonna post it up here on screen for you to see. I am in a drag show next week on February 27th at 8 p.m. at the Balcony Club in Boise, Idaho. That is a dream that I've had since I was a kid, and I'm pretty sure in a lot of my other videos, I'll link one right here, I have talked about how I always said that I was a cross-dresser drag queen before I decided to transition. And I always thought about performing, but I was I didn't know where to go. And then living with my parents, it was kind of hard to do all that stuff. So it was one of those things of, you know, let's fucking do it, basically. And so it's a free show. It's kind of a thing for new performers to get in there, kind of strut their stuff, kind of get comfortable on the stage, and maybe get noticed by some other producers. And I'm in a drag show. Like, I am so fucking excited. It is insane. I'm doing Applause by Lady Gaga, and I am doing a lip sync in a black catsuit. And you can be sure I'm gonna be posting a lot of videos about that show because it's going to be a blast. This has been a dream that I have had to do a drag performance since I think I was 15, and I've wanted to do a show to this song since I was 18 when the song came out in 2013. And I am so excited. I've been practicing. I have basically tried to teach myself how to dance. It's kind of wild learning how to dance. And one of the things that I've been noticing with dance is that you have to be very like nimble and very like flexible. But because of the fact that I'm a runner and I go to the gym all the time, my muscles are very tense. So it's been very hard to like start learning to open my body in those ways. So I am so excited for this drag show. I am just like, this is the 15-year dream to do this. Like RuPaul's Drag Race girls were one of the reasons why I transitioned. You know, you have the famous ones like Sonique and Carmen Carrera. You have those girls on there. And so I always thought, you know, it was going to be like my thing of like, oh, I'll be a drag queen and transition. But now I'm transitioning and then going into drag. But it turns out that's actually really common in the drag scene. There's a lot of transgender people who do drag as a way to like just kind of express themselves more. And so it gives me a reason to wear crazy outfits in public. So I'm super excited and I cannot wait for that show to happen. I'll link the club down in the description, but I am so excited to finally be in a drag show. Now I'm going to be talking about what the future holds for my channel. Now, as I mentioned at the start of the video, I had kind of gotten burnout because of the fact that I was going on transgender topics and I really wasn't hitting the audience that I wanted to. And there was a lot of contentious things going on with the election, and especially now that that guy's in office. So I'm actually moving away from transgender topics. I may talk about it a little bit to talk about my date that I had as well as my first sexual encounter, but that's going to be about the minimal amount of that. Instead, what I want to focus on is I want to focus on the beauty aspect. I've been a makeup junkie for almost 20 years. I have loved makeup. I love fashion. I love outfits. We're finally getting into nice weather, so I can talk about some of the cool summer outfits and the cool spring clothing that I have coming up. And I just want to talk about stuff that makes me happy and makes me like want to watch my own videos. Like, I never watched any of my videos. A lot of people have said my videos are very informative and they've taught them a lot about transgender people that they would have never gotten otherwise. But for me, it just wasn't the core of my channel. Like, I'm a Barbie. I'm sorry, I'm a Barbie. Like, my bedroom in there is so Barbie themed. I've got so much makeup. I go to the gym to work on my butt and things like that. Like, I am a very girly girl, but I don't really want to talk about like these intense kind of almost borderline depressing issues sometimes. Because like, for me, I've worked through a lot of my transgender stuff, and like most people are like, yeah, you're transgender, who cares, move from there. And that's kind of how I am with everything. I'm very like chill about it. I'm very like open about it. I'm not hardcore about it. I'm not one to just suddenly be very sad if someone calls me he, or, you know, when my parents call me my guy name or call me he or sir and things like that. It's like, whatever. I just kind of like worked through it a lot. But for me, I don't want to make videos that I don't want to watch myself. Like, I want to watch videos that are fun, that are creative, that show like the artistic side of myself and things like that. Like, for example, on my drag show, I'm coming up with like a really cool outfit for it. I've been wearing a bunch of different clothing. I've been having to learn the tucking mechanism with every bit of clothing that I wear, because I kind of push the edge of what I wear out in public each time I go to a drag show. Last time I was literally wearing a bra and panty and a fishnet bodysuit, and that's basically all it was. And so I want to showcase more of my fun elements to it. Maybe talk about like some fun home decor stuff, fitness elements, maybe some more makeup, things like that. And I'd rather focus on the things that I enjoy than the things that I've kind of gone through to get to this point where it's like, okay, yeah, I went through it, but I don't really care about rehashing it anymore. Because like most transgender videos, what I've noticed, like transgender focused channels talking about this stuff, they kind of go into bashing territory, and they kind of go into like the pick me category a little bit, where they pick one side or the other. And I'm like, I'm a middle. I don't care about arguments. I don't care about conflict. It's not something that I want to do myself. And so that's why I'm going to move my channel away from transgender topics, because it isn't what I want to do anymore. And I've reached the burnout max of it. I've talked as much as I want to about it completely. And of course, if people ask me questions, I will 100% reply. And if some people bring me very good topics to talk about, I'm like, okay, I will talk about that stuff. But it's not going to be the focus of my channel moving forward. Instead, I'm going to do the fun, girly girl elements that are the other side of my personality. In conclusion, I've recovered from my YouTube burnout and I am ready to hit an entirely new subject of topics moving forward. I've also been preparing for my drag show, which there will be a video on that in a couple days. I need to wait 2 more days to record it because I want to record it in the outfit a little bit more so you can kind of see what the outfit I'm wearing and all that stuff. And then I've also been doing a lot of friend stuff as well as dating. So as you can see that I am fully back to doing my YouTube channel. I am ready to tackle new topics. I'm ready to tackle a whole new amount of subscribers I potentially could get. And I'm ready to be back to YouTube and back to doing this, but in that fun way that I originally started this for. Not to talk about a divisive issue that is today and that has really crazy amounts of focus on right now, which is weird when most of us just want to live our lives and just kind of pass and blend into society. So for me, burnout's over. I'm ready to tackle new topics and I'm ready to have a whole new series of videos on a potentially burgeoning drag career that I'm about to have. So I'm excited, so I will be hearing more. Now remember to like and subscribe, put those comments in the comment section. I will endeavor to answer all of the ones that I deem worthy of answering, and I am ready to be back to YouTube. Now, this has been Nikki Chanel, and as a fun little side thing, today my parents actually just got brand new mini dachshunds because our 2 dachshunds of 15 and 16 years respectively died this year. And so they have gotten 3 new dachshunds. So after I'm done with all of my content today, I get to go over and play with some new mini dachshunds. So I'm really excited. So have a wonderful day, loves, and I will see you on the next YouTube video. This has been Nikki Chanel. Love ya.